Dignitas has just won game number 1 of Astral Authority in the very first game here at BlizzCon 2016. I am Solid Jake. We've got Keldor, Kalaris, and Dreadnought here bringing you all the action. And what a game to start out with.
I'm excited for map number 2 already because our second map is something that Dread was already anticipating, and I can see that smirk, my friend.
I'm very happy that we ended up making this rotation here going on to the second map. Again, I thought the map prioritization for these teams was very, very important, and so it's really going to show who's going to be successful in it. And for the second map, we're going to be going on to Towers of Doom, which is going to be Astral Authority's selection on the map.
Yeah, so let's talk about Towers of Doom. Definitely one of the newer maps here in Heroes of the Storm, and around for a few months now.
Yeah, it's a bit different, maybe a lot different than some of the other maps here in Heroes of the Storm, and that is because the cores over here are actually, you can't go up to them and just auto-attack them and kill them because there's this big wall of death here. If you cross either one of those lines, you end up getting a large amount of shots if you go to your opponent's side. So how do you kill the core? That comes down to the altars. The altars are going to be located here, 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 and here. They spawn the first phase, you can expect 3 to be spawning. During the 5th rotation, you can expect 3 more altars, but all the rest of them, it's going to be a bit more random. And when you capture those, they'll end up shooting shots to your opponent's core. That is all dependent on how many bell towers you have, which are located here, 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 and here. And so that is Towers of Doom. All about the altars, all about this weird squiggly thing that I put all over the whole thing. Honestly, probably not as organized as I should have been. But you can't run at the core. You shoot things at your opponents, and the Headless Horseman does the same thing. So
I just think you're so excited to finally be able to draw on one of the screens.
You're not wrong. For those who don't know, in opening week, almost every time I had to draw, it ended up breaking. So I didn't know what to do. I panicked.
It was like a 5-year-old's art project.
It was like when he was circling things, it was like, what is this? But at least this time it worked.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, thank you for the elegant explanation of Towers of Doom.
Yeah.
Now let's get back on track. This map in general is definitely one of Astral Authority's better picks. How do you expect the draft to go?
I mean, globals are always something that you have to consider here. Now that we've seen prioritization of Dahaka so heavily from Astral Authority, we haven't seen it on all the maps that I think they prioritize it, but I can't help but think this has got to be one of them.
All right, well, let's actually just jump into the draft for game number 2 on Towers of Doom between Astral Authority and Team Dignitas.
I'll be interested to see how the bands end up going here. They let Malfurion through, which was an interesting thing on both sides, really. It was almost like the Tychus ban from Dignitas is like, well, you've banned Johanna, we're just going to ban something else. And eventually you've got to give us something that is not like very, very strong in our hands, I would say. And that is Abathur?
Yeah, Dignitas actually continuing to ban Abathur and Towers as their first ban. That's something that they already did in their series against MVP Black. They really don't like Abathur on this map. And of course, it's quite transparent why. It's not only that the global soak that he can get can be very annoying and frustrating, it's more so about the toxic nest, really always a big problem against those rotations that can really slow it down. You can catch one of the altars in the meantime. And Astral Authority, you can really tell with the ban that they put in that they did their homework too.
And just an interesting fact for Team Dignitas getting that first pick onto the Tychus. In this tournament, Tychus, out of the 24 games he's been played, has a 33% win rate. And he was one of the highest prioritized during the last draft, and being the first pick here for them. I'm not saying that I disagree with the prioritization they've had, but overall it's been surprising how unimpactful he's been in some of these games.
Especially since he's always hailed as one of the direct counters against the big CC tanks. So teams are always arguing, hey, do we pick the Tychus up immediately? Can we let him go? Do we ban him out? So you're totally right there. The win ratio, if you consider how much teams prioritize him, is quite interesting.
An important pickup in Li Ming to try and just delay those altars from being channeled. She has long range, and Muradin being picked up on the other side. Maybe they just go for a more heavy front line. Now that they have Tychus, they're available. They have the opportunity to go for a front line because they don't feel too many threats with Tychus being on their side.
Yeah, and the Brightwing pickup here again, the globals gain more value on Towers of Doom. The question is, the Dignitas with the Muradin pickup, do they want to get rid of ETC out of fear of giving up a global? And again, one of the highest prioritized warriors in the game. Pushing Astral to probably more of a Johanna pickup, or again, they have the Dahaka, but we're yet to see him run as a solo tank. So I expect like a Johanna Dahaka. But maybe they're not worried about it, you know? It's really going to be their choice so far at this draft.
On the topic of Psalm, we saw him playing the Alarak to some really strong success in the early parts of the game. That's definitely one of his better heroes. Where do you think he'll land here? Do you think it's a better map for something like Chen just because the sheer amount of control he provides with the barrel?
I think both of them are reasonable options. The question comes down to what kind of team fighting approach do you want, and to be honest, I think that Astral Authority almost never was able to... They hit the combos on Alarak, but there was no follow-up from anybody else to the point where I want to see them try and pull away from that. I'm not so confident in their Alarak choice.
They're a very flexible team as well. I mean, technically, we could see Psalm actually being on the Li Ming and then them looking for something far more ranged focused. So we'll have to see what they want to go with.
I could have even seen Dignitas chancing it and just saying, okay, with Tyrael being banned out, one of the heroes that we could pick up ourselves is the Chen here, but they are saying it's way too dangerous for Astral to pick it up, so they are banning him out immediately. Therefore, Astral hasn't only the chance to go into the Johanna, but that ETC is still open, and throughout the entire opening week, we had teams really prioritizing Muradin and ETC quite highly, but we see Medivh coming in.
Wow. I mean, Medivh is a really powerful hero when it comes to the utility he provides, the teleporter, the invulnerability, and then the stitches. This is a classic combo.
As soon as I saw the Medivh on this map with stitches, as you say, that Gorge portal, well, Hook Gorge portal, it's a happy time.
Kidnap combo incoming, that's going to be quite fun. So a very high chance that we're going to see the Gorge then. If you think about it, once again, of course, you're trying to isolate the target with a hook, you Gorge, the portal comes in, you immediately escape, the Malfurion puts down the roots, Li Ming blasts the kidnap target away, and all of a sudden your opponent is one hero down and you just like try to play the numeric advantage.
I'm so torn on that rotation from Astral Authority. Yes, it is a very impactful one. The Zeratul pickup is going to be as a soft response to it. You can void the targets, they won't be able to get out. Post 13, that's not quite the case because portals are pretty much permanently up, so then that 5 seconds is not going to matter. But it will pull the Gorge target away even during that time, so I like that choice from Team Dignitas. But the fact that we see Astral moving into that, I don't want to call it cheese, but it is not necessarily standard play on a map that is their choice. And in my opinion, one of Dignitas' weaker maps already makes me a little bit fearful of their thought process going into this draft.
Do they want to go Juno? I mean, it's quite ambitious, but...
I don't think it's the end of the world if they do end up going into it, just because, again, you want the Void, but if you only Void as a response to the Gorge target, then you're usually not getting too much out of it. But if you get the follow-up, it could be a small pickup. But yeah, Gul'dan there for Mene.
This is definitely a really interesting one right now. I mean, Mena, of course, with Dignitas, again, we're looking at comfort picks for most of their players. Muradin is a hero that Jay has excelled at, with you see Gul'dan here too. For Astral Authority, on the other hand, they are currently banking their hopes on a damage output of Li Ming in particular, so they need a little bit more damage in that setup that they're running here. And ideally, of course, also a bit more stun. We've seen combos with the Stitches and an ETC. Even the only question is, if you throw that second warrior now too, and you have an ETC there, do you really have the damage that you need in those later on team fights?
It's funny to see how versatile in terms of the drafts that these two teams are. I mean, like Valor was so highly prioritized in the previous draft. She's not even here at all right now. So
coming back to that point, actually, like we've talked to the teams in the opening weeks, and basically every single one of them said that we are trying to fight, and they didn't want to show anything. And of course, now they come out guns blazing in Astral. If that was a hidden draft that they had, of course they have to show it right now. This is the one moment that really counts, and they go for the hardcore again.
Again, it provides a double setup now, kind of to be able to try and manipulate their opponents if they get out of position. So again, we see a similar-ish kind of play style from Astral Authority, again, prying off of any misplay slightly out of Team Dignitas, and they go with a bit more of the traditional approach. Zeratul is an adaptation to be able to deal with Astral's comp, so.
Yeah, but when it comes down to the damage we have here for Astral Authority, they don't necessarily have a lot of burst when it comes to it. No ETC in this draft whatsoever, neither not picked nor banned, which is a rare situation here for Heroes of the Storm globally in a lot of maps. The Stitches play, it's going to be really fun to watch those hooks be thrown out.
Fury has to be absolutely on point this game.
Yeah.
That being said, if I recall back to an NA regional, I recall Fury actually carrying games with his Stitches on this map, now that I think about it.
Yeah, I would argue he's without a doubt one of the better Stitches in North America. I don't know if I would put him at the level of JPL. I think his is maybe a bit more impressive, but you know what? We're going to see in this game.
I was really expecting the Sonya for that last picker on the side of Astral Authority just for a bit more damage, because we've seen them run that style with Medivh. A lot of synergy between those two heroes, but when it comes down to the Dehaka, they're really valuing that. They're valuing the global presence. I'm just curious if it's going to pay off here.
I think it's a really dangerous draft for Dignitas. We've been talking on the last map already about how the backline has to be safe, how Astral is going to try to look for these engagements. Now it's even more pressure against them since the Stitches hook can come in, you can move in with the Dehaka, Lin Ming can blow targets to pieces, a good Medivh portal can all of a sudden put the pressure on Gul'dan so that Mena, instead of dealing damage, is just running. So I actually think this is a pretty strong comp that they have here, Astral that is.
Beyond 16, if they do take Fishing Hook and things like that, when you're channeling altars, you better make sure you are on top of your game, because if a hook comes in from distance and they're able to pick you off whilst an altar is being channeled, it's goodbye.
I can't help but put focus as well, knowing that we're going to see Fury and Psalm on the key characters again in their composition, and I didn't see very much synergy coming out from them in the last game. Granted, it is far more forgiving on the Medivh post 13, so I think up until 13, I still want to see them be successful together, make their synergy be a heavy amount of pairing, because Medivh is solely dependent on the work with the rest of his team. He does have Master's Touch, a little bit of damage, but I want to see Astral be on the same point the whole game, because I didn't see much of that in the last one.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you are ready for some fantastic Heroes of the Storm action. Game number 2 is ready to jump in, so take it away, Caleres and Dread.
Thank you very much, Jake, as we see currently Dignitas with a 1-0 lead here. Will Astral Authority, one of North America's great hopes, push on forward here on Towers of Doom?
And there it is, Astral Authority. We're going to have Caterpillar playing the Dehaka. Coffin Luck is going to be on Li Ming. Fury playing Stitches. Malfurion played by June, and Psalm is going to be on the Medivh.
And then to the right side here of Towers of Doom, it is, of course, Athero will be playing Zeratul. Bakery will be playing Brightwing. JPL on Muradin. Mene on Gul'dan. Snitch on Tychus. It is Team Dignitas.
And much like the first game, it would not be an NA versus EU matchup if we didn't open up with a pause. But even though you guys at home didn't get to see the talents too much, there was a bit of an adjustment coming out from Medivh from the quote-unquote standard, if you will. Portal Mastery, that is the talent that gives Medivh the opportunity to be able to use both ends of the portals. He can choose them. That is going to really aid when it comes to the portal combo that they have with Stitches and the Gorge and everything going on. But again, it hurts that post-13 utility that they have. It's far less forgiving, far more diverse. And so again, these two have to absolutely be on point together for Astral to be successful here in this second game.
Yeah, it feels to me like if you go for the other portal talent level 1 for Medivh, you lower the skill cap a little bit, but when you take this one, you absolutely heighten the skill cap here of Medivh when he's having to deal with placing both of them in the right places at the right time, finding you the exact paths that you want to be taking. So it's very intense.
I absolutely love the talents. One of my favorite of Medivh's. I personally almost prefer it, but I do understand that Medivh really needs to be synergistic with this team to be effective, and having the other portal talents that are the more standard, if you will, with cooldown and the duration that it's going to be able to last, I understand why we see a lot of teams going that way. So Astral Authority has already, with their talent choice at level 1, set up to be like, we know what we're doing, we're on the same page, we're going to be able to pull out a win here because they have to. I mean, they absolutely have to.
If they do not, they are eliminated, and it will be up to Denial Esports in the other bracket to figure out their way forwards for North America. Astral Authority, so far in this region as a whole, they've proved themselves to be absolutely worthy of attaining this stage and pushing on further, but can they do it here against arguably the best Western team in the world?
I mean, it's a very good question, and one that I know a lot of North American fans are hoping to see go in favor of NA. Probably a lot of the fans here at BlizzCon, which, by the way, are absolutely phenomenal. The hype that these guys are bringing, it is a really good time. A couple Zero Panda fans out there as well. So now I was going to have to be able to take them out if they're going to have any shot here.
I loved the other sign that was there as well. The throwback to the Please Buff America.
Ooh.
I'm sorry. But we shall see as we get back into Towers of Doom here with Astral Authority and Team Dignitas. So for now, let's see how these guys are going to move around and just keep themselves a little bit wary, because Medivh, you can already see him in that Raven form, scouting forward, looking for the opportunity for Fury to land a hook.
Yeah, we do see the Reject Master actually picked up for the Zeratul, so if he's able to get enough gloves, becomes a pretty hard target to be able to pick off in this game. So we'll see. Astral Authority, when they hit that 10 mark, their composition becomes very difficult to be able to deal with the pairing as well. The Innervate talent taken for Malfurion might be able to aid with the cooldown rotations for the team, but I'm always struggling to promote these kind of linear, straightforward compositions, to have faith in them. But I want this to work so badly for the sake of North America.
Go to that third game would be lovely here. JPL snaking around. And one thing to highlight as well is the reason we oftentimes don't see this Stitches Medivh composition on other maps is because Towers of Doom, you're very much so in a narrow line up the entire middle of the map. And if you're able to get that combo off, you can easily take them back to your wall, even if you end up taking down a 4.
Good job by JPL getting the dodge there. Cattle actually didn't provide vision either, making it a bit more difficult, but
yeah.
Very well done here. Athero, a bit of harass going into him, but a lot of this is going to be the lane matchups, kind of just with the 1v1s everywhere onto the map. But Div, if he doesn't end up stacking his Q onto his target, he struggles into the wave clear. So Taika should be able to take control in that matchup on the bottom half of the map. Yeah, as we see there. That's almost a kill. Snitch getting aggressive.
Yeah, and so juking and jiving around that bottom little wall, but unfortunately for him, he got the blunt end of that grenade towards that position. So now Jay and Mene just setting themselves up for the potential attack on towards anybody. It looks like Dignitas has positioned themselves better here to try and rival for 2 altars in this 3-altar scenario.
Astral Authority has just straight up given that up. Very huge overextension there from Athero Angel, and they're going to be able to get first blood. Astral Authority here. They postured to only be able to capture one of the shrines. That was... I want to know the thought process there. Athero trying to get the harass, very optimistic to think that we can just delay and get the 3 shrines off the first rotation here.
Yeah.
He gets punished.
An ambitious move, to say the least.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, Astral Authority taking it slow in the earlier stages, not even really looking for this altar at all, just because they didn't feel like they could actually do anything with it. But that being said, this is an aggressive move, going straight towards that Sapper camp of Dignitas very quickly.
Medivh's going to be rotating, getting the scout out. Portal is going to be set. They're going to be able to get the saplings, walk on out of there. So right now, Astral Authority doing a pretty good job. They did end up losing the 4 shots, but the most important thing when looking at Towers of Doom is always going to be the experience. If you do lose a couple of shots, not going to matter because those shots get easier and easier to be able to obtain in the later half of the game. And as long as you can take that fight, you're on the same talent tier, you're fine.
That's going to be a blow up on towards Li Ming. Very quick there with that full combination. And just going to push back against these sappers and steal them from Astral Authority. Wow.
Yeah, heads up play there as well from Dignitas, knowing that without that many people on the map, they're probably going to be taking the other camp, instantly rotate, get the invade here. So very well done for them. And I can't help but focus on that this is Astral's map pick, and how successful they are on this map compared to Team Dignitas in the past hasn't really been able to take a majority of the top tier teams within their region. And obviously showing signs of struggle against MVP Black. Granted, that is MVP Black, so if Astral's not going to be able to win this game, it's going to be rough.
Yeah, MVP Black, they're pretty good at the video game, let's be honest.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, and also one thing to notice here, of course Gul'dan is back in this game again, and he's gone for Echo Corruption level 1 again, but because there's not as much conflict in this game, it's a little bit more passive, he's hardly had any opportunities to actually get his stacks going, so that's going to come at a little bit of a delayed point here for Mene.
Yeah, that is really a good point to bring up. As we say, that hook combo coming out, Compton going in as well. Everybody is going to be able to confirm the portal coming out, and Thero's picked up as well. Mene, no escapes here. He's trying to retreat, but I don't think it's going to matter.
This is beautiful play out of Astral Authority, going for the chase down. That will be a third. 3-0 here for Astral Authority.
I doubted the synergy at the beginning there from Psalm and Fury, but if you have June to lay the route, you know, you don't even need him in the first place. Portal just going to further their advantage here, and now Astral Authority has put themselves in a big advantage here as we take another look at this combo. Look at the route instantly from June to be able to get the follow-up after that, and then beautiful Portal, give distance. Very well done here from Astral.
Yeah, fantastically executed there as they just continue to ravage on through that triple kill. And now they're going to try and establish themselves down towards the bottom of the map once again here. The American crowd in the house cheering for their home team. Fantastic to hear. But that being said here, we're going to see a lot of pressure on towards Cattle. He will not go down. Good escape.
Yeah, he tries to get the rebuttal there, a pick with a couple of shots from the turrets, turn it around. The camp was captured on the bottom half for Astral. They are going to be able to attain the other camp as well, so a good amount of pressure onto the map for them. That gives them breathing room, makes the rotations to be able to maybe get an advantage here and there. And with the Medivh portal, it's only going to be able to help that gap closer for a kill, and they're going to be worried about the 10. I can't help but think there's 100% Gorge right here, but I'm thinking maybe, you know...
It has to be. Has to be.
I feel like that is the case, but for some reason, something in my brain's telling me, you know, they're not even going to do it.
That poor minion. hooked to his death. Actually, no, they let him live. Oh no, Li Ming, you're a nasty lady. Well, for now, we'll end up moving away.
Speaking of Li Ming in a very bad spot, Portal comes out. Cawthon is very low. He will be able to survive the damage, but Dignitas completely just forcing Astral Authority back as the Shrine is now spawning down below. Race to 10 is very close between these teams. Zeratul and Medivh look like they're going to be trying to get the soak as best as they can.
All right, Atherope going up against Sam here. Should be able to get himself out if he needs it. Doesn't even need the portal. That's the move on forward.
Oh, he's got a shield. He's got the well. He'll be fine. But that is huge. The fact that he is so low is going to be a free rotation here. 10 advantage. They need to take advantage of this right now. Astral needs to be the one dictating the pace. This is going to be delayed. JPL with the stall. Very good job here. And we know that Medivh is so low when it came to the health bars. He will be healing up a reasonable amount.
Half at the moment, needing Jun to heal him up a little bit more there, but can't quite at the moment. Oh, that's a lot of damage going on towards Jun, though. He's going to have to get out of there. Atherope comes back in. Void Prison goes on. Will they be able to follow this up with anything? There's the Horrify into the damage. Instant blow up on towards Jun. And that is a kill, and Sam is getting chased down. Oh, friendly hook. An attempt to save, but it is not enough.
Such a great job there. JPL wearing the turret shots the entire time to ensure Snitch has the mobility to be able to get in there, confirm that last kill for his team. So really well done. Dignitas here doing phenomenal teamwork across the board. Granted, Astral, we have seen the synergy that they've had as a team. See if Fury's going to be able to get the hook here. If so, not too much follow-up. But right now, Dignitas has full control over this game, but we have hit the 10 spike. Yeah. Will we see the Medivh Gorge combo effectively?
We may, we may. I loved what we watched there as well, though. I mean, as much as Dignitas did get the upper hand in that fight, the attempt from Fury to try and use Helping Hand hook to bring him back, if it had been any other position, he might have saved him, but unfortunately, just not enough distance to get that save.
Yeah, and the team's just backing out, worrying about the cap. The camp's getting so much pressure elsewhere. 11 for both teams. Astral Authority right now is just looking for a picks. That is the name of the game when it comes to their composition. Void Prison is off cooldown for 29 seconds, and that is really the deterrent, you know, the counter response here. But the flank going on, JPL is going to look for the stun, dodge. It works, so they should be able to survive, and it looks like they're going to try and turn around as Bakery gets hooked. There's the Gorge. There's the portal. Bakery, do you have the opportunity to get out? Blink heal? No. He is just instantly turned into a little monkey, and he's dead.
Yes, he was bopped. That was very quick there. Instant blow up. Fantastic coordination from Astral Authority, but they've got to make that happen a few more times throughout this game here. They are a little behind in shots, not too far behind, and catching up in some experience.
And it should be noted that even though we do see that trade for Dignitas, losing Bakery in that situation, actually burning his heroic here, Kato's trying to get aggressive. It's what did we really see Astral gain? Yes, it was pretty. They burnt a lot of resources to be able to get a kill on Bakery, but they ended up losing a bell tower on bottom, which debatably is going to be more effective as we move into the next Shrine phase in a couple of seconds here. And they used their cooldown. So we have 40 seconds here on Dahaka's Heroic. Gorge is just going to barely be coming off cooldown, and they're losing the experience department as the Shrines come up. 13 tier is not going to be in their hands for some time. So yes, that is a satisfying moment to see that combo. Again, there's so many resources committed for one pick, and it's on a global.
An attempt at a hook in towards the bush there, and now Stitches is quite isolated. That was a Gorge, actually. There's the portal once again, and that is another guaranteed kill for Astral.
That was Twilight Dream used as well. The hook going onto Athero has to burn the Void Prison. Laser went down as well. Channel on the bottom half. Kato with the teleport in. Is the polymorph coming into play? It doesn't matter. He gets the delay. He gets the burrow. Are they going to be able to save him as a portal should be coming in here for the team?
Healing himself up with his hook there, and he actually missed isolation. But that's a hook on towards Snitch. Actually, he's able to dash out of the roots very, very fast. Great play by Snitch.
Athero, he got the channels in mid. That is going to be 5 shots here. Astral Authority, he has the man advantage, but they're still not able to get the map objective here. 5 shots. Bell Tower still disadvantaged against them. June will confirm 3 shots here. But again, yes, you do get the kill, Astral Authority. It looks pretty and it looks fun, but what does it cost you?
Yeah, you're spending a lot to get those kills.
Absolutely.
A lot is going into them, and now Astral Authority has to think about the bigger picture. They have to start breaking down this bell tower that's been taken away from them.
This is so scary here. JPL has shown in the upper half, but Athero is still questioning whether or not he wants to try and get the harass. He ends up getting back up. Both these teams are probably going to be worried more about the camps here. The pressure that it provides and the force rotations it gets onto your opponent is great, but it's a 10-shot advantage here for Team Dignitas. Astral Authority has maintained their experience, which is huge.
Yep.
It is absolutely huge for them. 13 tier was picked up as well for the Medivh.
Oh, that's a kill maybe. Where is that? Oh, we don't have Medivh with them. Oh, we're gonna get it anyway.
Huge combo there. The portal going in. Snitch is in a rough spot as well. Polymorph going on to him. He doesn't have the dash hook. He dashes through the minions. Fury ends up hooking the minion as well. Very well done from Snitch. And this game is just a bloodbath, but we do see in the upper half, Cattle
should be able to get away with this trade. That's an
body blocks.
The body blocks, but the Dark Swarm was able to the Horrify, and he is going to end up going down here. There's the Burrow. Is anybody coming to his aid? It doesn't look like it. A pickup for Dignitas.
Yeah, as I was talking about the Medivh 13, so much action here in this game. He ended up going with the cooldown option. So Stitch's Gorge, which should almost always be able to be catered to. The positioning should be chosen by his level 1, and we see just a small adaptation there only with the level 1 tier. But again, Dignitas is in full control here in this game. Astral Authority needs to make sure that when they do use these combos that they don't have to commit absolutely everything. And the problem is outside of maybe Tychus and then Mene on the Gul'dan, a lot of the targets are really difficult to deal with.
This is the window where they can do some good stuff here, though. There's 3 altars about to spawn. They have this bell tower towards the bottom, which is attempted to be attacked. Fury is coming in hot here to try and do something with this.
That's not the target you want, though.
He should be able to jump out of here if he's not careful. That's also the polymorph on towards him. He's trying to get away, but he's still silenced. It's going to be a kill, but it's everything spent onto that kill.
The great isolation they're going on to Bakery. The Kuton coming into play. The root Mene ends up going down. Zeratul has made the rotation to the upper half of the map, though. Shots confirmed down below. See if he's going to be able to stop these. He will. So great job. Astral Authority in that triple shrine phase was able to secure 5 shots. They'll have more in the upper half of the map, and they have been able to turn the momentum a bit into their favor. Not enough quite yet, but they do show that they have an opportunity in this game to be able to come back.
It was really great play. Just prioritizing, really bringing the pressure to Dignitas in that bottom right-hand corner, and now getting themselves a few more shots. Yes, that bell tower to the bottom right was taken back by Dignitas, but still, 16 to 20. A damn sight better now for Astral Authority than it was a few minutes ago.
Yeah, and they are rounding the 16 talent here to be able to match Team Dignitas. And Astral Authority is just committing so many resources. Aethero has never been into a position to use the Void to try and stop some of these tools coming out from Astral Authority. And that was, I think, a large focus of that pickup there, you know, in direct response to this. So maybe his positioning needs to be a bit more aggressive, obviously not showing himself too much, but making sure that when that combo comes out, that something actually happens here, because the Stitch's 16 is the fishing hook.
Yes, it is. Got to be careful of that fishing hook. We all know it from playing this game well and well aware. As for now, my question is, how does Astral Authority fare if there's a full team fight to occur? They get these picks, but especially if Dignitas is going to move in towards this direction here, going on towards June. He does have ice blocks to potentially save himself. Protection from Medivh comes out. Void Prison's already gone down. He gets knocked into the Void Prison.
Yeah, and that's going to be a rough spot, though, as the Dwarf Toss comes into play. Great Medivh shield trying to keep them up. Twilight Dream is used, but only hits one target.
And Cattle was retreating out towards the bottom side. We've seen Sam as well as June getting out there. The portal plays get Astral Authority out and bringing Mene with them, and he should go down.
Well, Mene getting aggressive, going in, confirms the kill on a Medivh. Cattle's under a bit of harass with Coffin, and when you thought Mene was maybe getting a bit too aggressive, he ends up going 1-for-1 into that trade.
And that's not too bad there for Dignitas. Yeah. They can stabilize off the back of that here, while Fury is still looking for those hooks. Anywhere you can find them. And he has to know that that camp might be being done very soon because of their potential to invade it just before.
Rough spot, this game, so tense. 17 for both the teams. The fact that this map objective is spawned on the lower half with the camp pressuring down there is not going to give too much value for Dig, but we do see Dahaka securing the upper one. A little bit of a positive thing going on here for Astral, the fact that they were able to pick this up, but no major advantage. Again, it comes down to the team fight, and you question what happens when you see a just raw team fight. Is Dignitas going to pull ahead? I would say for the most part it looked like that until you saw the pick play coming out from Astral. Yeah,
they kind of almost have to run away unless they're able to deal with the drill properly as well from Tychus. It can be a little bit dicey, one would say. Nope.
Good dodge. We do see a JPL moving in, and Hook is still going to be on cooldown. We're just going to be waiting it out. Play the patient game here as long as they can. Void Prison is just about to come off cooldown. Now Dignitas wants picking this fight.
Athero's looking for it, but are they keeping an eye on the blur? I think he realizes that he's down there. They're going to go for the Gorge as well. They've instantly pinged him. He is gone here.
He's going to blink. He blinks, he wormholes back, he voids, he survives the situation, but June ended up dying in the process, and it looks like Cattle is the next focus here for Dignitas. Athero is still trying on the retreat. He ends up going down, but that is and it gets picked by Astral Authority, and they end up losing it 2-1.
It almost felt, I mean, Astral must have known that they were spotting him out.
Yeah.
They must have known. It has to be some kind of play to try and draw some of the cooldowns away and then them capitalize on the other side, because they divided and conquered very effectively there.
Yeah, absolutely. They did a very good job. There were so many resources committed to him, and he buys a lot of time. JPL trying to get the stun. Cawthon will be able to get the blink away here, but a level advantage for Dignitas. 8 shots in their favor. They are pressuring the map. 5 bell towers now. They're going to have the camp pressuring down below and try and escort it possibly into the wall of death. Best focus would be...
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
JPL is able to dwarf toss away there. Now this becomes a little bit precarious for Astral Authority. They are down in experience. They are down on shots. They are down on bell towers and down on sapper camps. They need to somehow gain some momentum back here, get some more pickups, find a blow up from Leeming, anything that they can do here. Otherwise, they will be eliminated.
That's exactly what they need here, Caleres. And the next Shrine phase is really what's going to dictate that. 20 won't be picked up here for Dignitas. I'm pretty sure it'll spawn roughly before it.
Where's Dig going?
They're trying to find cattle. Actually, they just say, don't even worry about it. Go for the boss. They see everybody down below, and this should be for free. Void Prison not even up. Psalm does scout it out. But when nobody's there to get the port other than like the global on your team, it does not matter. This is going to be Dig. It's a huge play there. Abusing the rotations and the vision. Astral Authority showed 4 on bottom, and they said, well, thanks for the boss.
Yeah, and that all comes from the leverage of taking that bottom left bell tower.
Yep.
You have to, as Astral Authority, be looking to try and clean that up, be wary even, I should say, of where Dignitas are around that, because you haven't seen them for so long. As you said, great use of the vision.
Yeah, and that's why pushing lanes in Heroes of the Storm is so valuable, because there are not very many tools to be able to deal and provide vision for your team. Whenever you have the lanes pushing against your opponent, as long as you have the advantage and experience, you now have vision control over your opponents as well, and you can make big power plays like that. Granted, Astral in no way, shape, or form should have shown that many down below, but they're still roughly even in experience here.
They're going for it. I feel they have to try and take a fight. They have to deny this altar going over towards Dignitas, because if they don't, it will be 4 shots left on their side. They would be down against level 20 as well. And Dignitas is just going to delay this out for a little bit, because they know how close they are.
They know it's very close. If the next wave on top as well gets pressure through, there should be another bell tower going over to Dignitas, getting them 10. As I say that, though...
Instantly getting out of there was Snitch once again. He's been absolutely on point.
It was the cleanse as well, made it to where it was actually impossible to happen, but as we say that, Dwarf Toss in.
And he's putting some pressure on Horrify, going down to 3 members. That's Jun getting very low there. He goes for the Twilight Dream as well as into the Ice Block. Athero trying to avoid Prism, but that's going to be Malfurion falling towards the bottom. One of them escapes there with Cattle, but that might be a 3-man wipe here as Stitches ends up falling. Cattle trying to get some retribution from all of this, but he draws him to his death. Oh, it's a full team wipe. Dignitas is able to take it, and that will be massive damage against Astral.
Yeah, they're in a position where they're going to get as many bell towers as they can, confirm the shots, and then try to get an escort here with the sappers onto the core and get the shots. This should be a GG situation here, or if not, very close, because look at how they left all of the turrets. See you mid, 1 shot, go up on top. It's going to be 1 shot as well. Very good cleanup here from Dig.
Let's take a look at that again here as the action just mashes through what we saw from Sam on towards the bottom. He took a lot of damage. That 3-man Horrify caused absolute chaos against them.
And now we have bell towers were obtained all by Dignitas, 1 by 1 shots moving into the core. Nobody's going to be alive to stop it, and that is it. GG. Dignitas, #1 seed from Europe with 2-0s. Astral Authority here in the first set of BlizzCon 2016.
It keeps Dignitas' hopes alive here as they move on for 1 more match to see if they can go on to the semi-finals. But unfortunately for Astral Authority, they are out. As now it rests on Denial Esports to try and push America forwards.
Yes, it's a heavy weight onto Denial Esports' shoulders, but I can't help but set focus to the very end of that game, how pretty it was that Dignitas left all of those bell towers at under that 10% threshold.
Yeah.
So when you win 1 fight, granted the 5-0 wipe would almost always end that way, but even if it was 2 to 3 kills, they put themselves into a position to make sure when they get that small victory, they make it an actual game victory. Very heads-up play coming out from Dig.
I mean, Team Dignitas, the #1 seed of Europe, they have to be proud of themselves. A beautiful 2-0 victory. Just bringing the pain to Astral Authority. What a start to BlizzCon. Caldor, let's talk about that game.
I mean, I'm very happy, of course, with the 2-0 for Euro, but I have to confess that I, especially after game 1, expected a 2-1 here at the least. So that was a lot closer. The AA played fantastic, I feel. And after the last fight, we also saw AA constantly ahead in kills. Dread talked during the game already about that. It's beautiful to watch these kills, but at the same time, of course, you need to win the objective to really win the game here. And we actually prepared like 2 clips, and the first one is one of those kills. It was actually pretty beautiful. So let's just look at that again, I guess. Was one of the kills that we had up at the top lane when Brightwing all of a sudden had a bit of a problem there. And also was one of those moments when you said just shortly afterward that at the bot lane, in the meantime, there was still a fort that I eliminated.
Well, let's take a look at that first replay, Kaldor.
Well, so this is the moment where we have, and here comes that hook again, and immediately the root is down. They don't even need it because the Gorge comes in, and at that point they just obliterate the target, but you can already see on the minimap how one of the towers is taken. But this is exactly what Astral Authority was like trying to do the entire game long. Trying to go for the kidnap combo, the hook, the Gorge, the portal immediately being used. And there's just no way going in and saving that target unless you're a Muradin that is able to jump out, or Bakery somehow gets that cleanse off at that moment. So that was perfect play on the side of Astral Authority. But when it came to the map, that's where they really suffered.
I mean, I like the strategy in theory, especially as you say on the map. But when it comes to a potential team fight down the line, you do not have as much power guaranteed. We all know that Stitches, yeah, he's not as great as terms of a solo warrior at the front or even as duo warrior. They really wanted to try out with the Dahaka, but didn't quite hit the mark for them each time.
Yeah, I mean, I've been very vocal a lot of the times when looking at drafts, always finding those, you know, that one way to win type composition, no matter how extravagant it is or how simple it is, it almost always is never going to work. I think even at a regional level, it's so slowly but surely kind of pulled away, and I definitely think at the international level, it just shouldn't succeed.
Well, that game was full of a lot of good plays. Kaldor, let's look at another one.
Like we were talking about team fights, I feel one of the things they have to do is to get an early kill, and they couldn't really get that done. That was one of those fights that we saw in the middle, and in this instance, you can really see how Astral was trying to look for a kill first. It didn't get it, and then the turnaround attempt as we immediately have the Void Prism going down. But it also shows a little bit that Dignitas at this point still struggle to confirm team fight kills. They go in, they don't have the damage output just yet, and now look how Astral Authority actually starts to turn it around against them. So if you don't take Astral Authority down immediately, they still got your number. Drop that portal, and we see Gul'dan in this case eliminated. So it was this entire back and forth throughout every single fight that we had there. And I completely agree with Dread. The problem that you have with this combo is if you approach a team fight and you don't get the hook, you're going to lose the team fight eventually.
And that's a big part of why we see very few games with Stitches. Yes, it is a linear draft, as Dread was saying. It's like, you know, the goal is pretty obvious. You're looking to get those picks. You're looking to eliminate one hero very quickly. And it worked in many situations, but I thought the adaptation that we saw on the side of Astral Authority was really nice. Let's take a look at one more replay.
Yeah, this was the last fight. We saw that in an Insta replay already, but I still want to highlight that this decided the game. This was really the big engagement where we saw them going straight for the kill. Jay initiated the entire thing and was starting to lock someone out, and this was just absolutely beautiful. The coordination was fantastic. We see the Horrify going down in the backline. That Void Prison was absolutely fantastic, and from there on, it's just a cleanup job, and everyone is just exploding there, and that gave that timing window, especially with those huge death timers that we had, for them to get every single one of those bell towers and then just simply claim victory here.
You see so much zoning potential out of almost all of their abilities as well. It's not only Horrify, it's the fact that when they Horrified, they placed a drill in between a few of their members and then isolated 2 away, so they weren't able to actually come and help. And then that drill, as a result, is doing so much extra damage because you can't kill the drill because 2 people are still in the Void Prison. So everything worked so well in tandem for Dignitas at the very end there, that was almost nothing that Astral Authority could do.
Got to give a lot of props to Astral Authority, though. They had a great run here. At the start of this season, really weren't looking like one of the favorites for North America, but in the end, that they showed that they are definitely one of the best. Well played by them.
At the same time, I also want to say, though, that we have seen some fantastic cleanses in this game. Like some of these hooks that were there, even if you couldn't dodge it, like just like getting away from that situation again, the jumps that we had on the side of JPL, going up against such a composition is incredibly annoying. So them mastering that, that gives me a lot of hope seeing them going forward in the tournament.
Yeah, and I think Bakery did a really good job throughout both of the games with his cleanses on both of the combos coming out from Astral Authority. And so hopefully that's something that they can really use to their strength as they move on through this tournament.
Well, guys, we've got our esports correspondent, Anna Prosser-Robinson, with a special interview. Anna, take it away.
Thank you, Jake. I am on stage with Bakery. Congratulations. You must be feeling amazing after that match. You are? I think you are. It sounds like the crowd is too. Let's go back though, rewind, get back to where we were during game 1. Kaldor said he thought that was one of the best games you guys have played in the entire Fall Championship. Would you agree with that?
I actually disagree quite heavily with that. I think we made a lot of basic mistakes, there were a lot of deaths that didn't need to happen. There should have been some deaths that didn't happen. And overall, I think we're actually pretty disappointed, but we won it anyway, so we're still happy.
Well, that's good. And then moving into game 2, we saw some strategies we hadn't seen a lot in this tournament. We saw the Stitches portal play that looked like it could be kind of scary, but was that something you guys were already prepared for because you seem to be able to handle it?
So we knew they'd probably try something off the wall. They are very well known for that, and as you can see, they execute it very well. And in our minds, that was the only way that they could win the series, was a strategy like that and executing it properly. So all of our preparation for this match went into trying to play against those kind of compositions.
Very well thought out. And I want to ask, because we love to hear about in-game strategy, because we all love playing the game, but I want to ask on the human level, I know that you guys have invested a lot in this tournament, as a team, as individuals, and I wanted to know, what are you hoping for in terms of payoff, in terms of what will make it worth it to you? How will your lives change after this tournament?
To me, winning it is the only thing that can make it worth it. But honestly, with all these Koreans around, I think that's a bit unrealistic. So getting to the finals is our target, and I think we'll be happy with that.
And if you do, what will that mean to you and to your team and your organization after the fact?
The investment that we had for this tournament with the career boot camp and how much practice we've been putting in is huge. So it'd be such a huge relief to actually achieve our goal in this tournament.
Awesome. Well, we wish you absolutely the best of luck as you move forward. And fans, don't worry. We'll be coming back with more Heroes of the Storm. It's Zero Panda versus Denial coming up next.